Welcome back to the Angry Man Podcast with Jason and Greg. So, Jay, I want to start this video off by saying welcome back, Andre Berto. He will be on the undercard of the David Benavidez versus Boo Andre fight that's going to occur on November 25th. And he is doing the rounds to help promote his fight because he wants revenge against Robert the Ghost Guerrero. So we know that Andre Berto lost a fight against Guerrero several years ago, and now he's getting his opportunity for revenge. And of course, when a fighter has a fight coming up, they're going to go and make the rounds and do interviews, fight hype as a part of their normal process. When a fighter has a fight coming up, Jay, they're going to ask him a number of questions that are currently going on in the sport. Yep. For whatever reason, AM Sports Media is not allowed to do that, but I digress. So as they were asking him different questions, the comment of Jaron Ennis came up relative to Terence Crawford. And I thought Berto's response was very interesting, Jay. The way that he responded to and the way that he described Ennis was what I feel makes him the perfect opponent for Terence Crawford at 147 pounds. Now, I am not including Errol Spence in the 147-pound division. In my mind, Errol Spence is now a 154-pounder. So please do not come in the comment section talking to me about, what about Errol Spence? We are considering Errol Spence a 154-pounder. And we've heard that Terence Crawford and Errol Spence were in negotiations to try to have the fight at 154. Terence Crawford wanted more money, yada, 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 this, that, and the third. And because of that, maybe Terence Crawford will stay at 147 pounds because he's certainly not getting the Canelo Alvarez fight. So because of that, and because of how Berto actually described him, I see Jaron Ennis as that next guy at 147. There's nobody else. I don't want to hear anything about who's next in line, what order the sanctioning bodies are going in. Does not matter. The only credible fight at 147, as far as I'm concerned, relative to Terence Crawford, is Jaron Ennis. So, Jay, I want to play this clip from Berto, and I want you guys to hear how he describes Jaron Ennis. And this is why, technically, he is going to be a challenge for Terence Crawford. And I'm not saying that he beats Terence Crawford, because still I have Terence Crawford winning that fight. But this is the reason why that's the next fight at 147. So let me play this clip very quickly, Jay.
In his mind right now, nobody can beat him. You know what I mean? It's hard to beat a fighter, or it's hard to tell a young fighter, you know, that somebody else is better than him. It doesn't matter. Like when I was coming up in the game, and I was sparring everybody from Dyke Cortez to Winky Wrights. I was sparring all world champions coming up, and I was giving them hell. So it was nothing nobody could tell me at the time that I couldn't beat, Floyd. I couldn't beat Pacquiao coming up. I couldn't beat, you know what I'm saying? I think that Ennis is in that place now that he really feels like he's that next guy. You know what I mean? And nobody can tell him that he can't beat Terence. I mean, he's young, he's strong, he's sharp. He's long, he's lanky, he's rangy. I mean, he has a lot of good things about him, for sure.
And that's what we've been saying the entire time. And that is the reason why that needs to be the absolute next fight for Terence Crawford if he's going to stay at 147. Jaron Ennis is rangy. He's skillful. He's young. And as you know, and we've heard Floyd Mayweather say this on multiple occasions, it's hard to beat a fighter that's undefeated because they don't know how to lose. They don't know how to lose. They have not been put in a position where they would even think it would even go through their minds that there's a possibility that they could lose. It's not happening. And when you think about Jaron Ennis, that's probably even more present with Jaron Ennis. And the reason why I say this is because he is young. The level of skill that Jaron Ennis has displayed so far in his career it's up there, and we understand that. And so there are going to be people in the comment section saying negative things about Ennis. Who has he fought? He hasn't fought anybody. Well, we know that Jaron Ennis hasn't fought the top names at 147 because he doesn't get the opportunity to actually fight them. That is the reason why you haven't seen him in the ring with those gentlemen. So, Jay, what's your thoughts on that? I mean, I think that was the perfect description of why Jaron Ennis should, in fact, be the next fighter for Terence Crawford if he decides to stay at 147. The caveat is if. So please don't come in the comment section talking about, he already said he didn't stand at 47. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, that's what we've been saying the whole time. If Bud stays at 147, there's no other fight at 147 he should want to make or allow anyone to try to put him against anyway, because that's the best fight for him at 147. Best fight. And again, I favor Bud in that fight. But just by wanting to see the best fight, the best at 147, it will be Bud and Boots. For all the reasons that Berto mentioned, for all the reasons you mentioned, for all the reasons we mentioned in prior videos. And again, this is if he stays at 147. And we've also said that we favor Bud if in that matchup. So this ain't no butt hate. This is just logic. Sound logic that you want to see the best fight the best. That's what some of y'all say y'all want. But when it comes to or opportunity for it, y'all give all the excuses why it shouldn't happen. You know, and I would be saying the same thing if Spence had won and was considering possibly staying at 147.
We've already said that.
Well.
We already said that. We said it would be gangster if he actually fought Jaron Ennis. If he beat Terence Crawford, he should fight Jaron Ennis. We've said that already.
Yeah, so I mean, that's we just want to see the best fight the best, and you can't tell me there's a better fight at 147 for Bud. Should Bud choose to stay at 147? Because there isn't. There isn't a better fighter for him at 147. And we get it. Boots needs to be tested, fight some better fighters. He's trying. He's not given opportunity. Thurman said no. Emmanuel Sanyona said no. Spence and Bud fought. So there's not really many other people for him to fight right now. Case closed.
They're gonna say it's a legacy. Bud about legacy. There's no legacy behind that fight. He need a legacy fight. It's a legacy. Bud is about making money. Legacy. We understand that. And if he's about money and legacy, then he should move up to 168 pounds and take on David Morrell or somebody else that will allow him to get the opportunity for Canelo Alvarez, because he's not going to get a straight shot at Canelo if that's what he's truly about, legacy. And matter of fact, legacy and dollars, because that's the way he's going to get it. But what we're talking about is if he stays at 147 pounds, like he said he wanted the rematch to be for Errol Spence. If that is the case, and you don't make the Errol Spence fight for whatever reason, and I believe that fight is going to happen. I believe the rematch is going to happen. I think there's a lot of reasons why it couldn't happen, which I won't go into any details in regards to that. But I think it's going to happen. But if it doesn't happen for whatever reason, and if it's the case where the reason that's given is because Terence Crawford wanted to fight at 147 pounds, I don't want to hear anything about Terence Crawford he struggled to make the weight, but he doesn't even want to be at the weight anymore, so forth and so on. The rationale and the reason why the fight wasn't made, if that's the case, of not wanting to fight Errol Spence at 154, it needs to be at 147, then you're telling me you're a 147 pounder and we need to see you in the ring with Jaron Ennis. And I love the way that Berto described it, and I think it will be a hell of a fight. And to the point that you made, I believe that Terence Crawford will win the fight, because I don't think Ennis is there yet. I just think that Crawford's experience, he's had, so many fights in the ring, so much experience. I think it'll be a little too much for Ennis at this moment. I think Ennis may need another. I think Ennis needs one of those A-, B+ fighters, a couple of those before he's ready for Terence Crawford. But man, sometimes you got to strike while the iron is hot.
Hey, if you think that Boots is going to lose anyway, why should he fight? Why should Bud fight him?
Because you got to actually fight him. We got to see the actual fight in the ring. What I think doesn't matter. The fight actually has to happen. I know what you're doing. You're basically giving us what the fans will say in the comment section, but the fight needs to happen. That's why they play the game, right? You have to actually see it. Anybody can say they're going to win on paper. You have to play the game. So, or in this case, make the fight. So I would love to see it, but it is what it is. We'll see what ends up happening. I don't think that fight is going to end up happening, but I would like to see Jaron Ennis more vocal about his desire to make that fight. That's the one caveat. I would love to see him be more vocal about his desire to make that fight, because that is part of the reason why they can make an excuse for why Terence Crawford doesn't have to happen or have to make the fight happen, because Jaron Ennis, he ain't asking for it. So it is what it is. You guys tell us what you think in the comment section in regards to what Berto had to say relative to Jaron Ennis. I thought it was interesting. Don't forget to hate, like, comment, and subscribe. This is the Angry Man Podcast, AM Sports Media, and we are out.